gas station. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a walking tour. Vercelli, Italy. I'm gonna tell a little bit about this city. It's a relatively quiet city up in the northern part of Italy. It's kind of boring in the sense that there's not much to do if you're a younger person. But it's very quiet. So if you like tranquility, this would be ideal for you. So it's a Sunday, so it's not much activity, not too many people out. People seem to stay in on Sundays. So let's talk about the cars that you can find here in Italy. For the most part, for obvious reasons, you will find only European cars. You see a lot of Mercedes, Audis, Peugeot, I don't know if I pronounced that right, Renault, Dacia, Alfa Romeo, Fiat. And for some reason, everyone seems to be driving smaller cars. You can find some Japanese here and there. A lot of Nissans. Some Hondas, not too many. American brands, you will find a lot of Fords. But the models that they have here are kind of designed for European market. So the reason why I think they have smaller cars is basically because the streets are narrow. They're not as wide as in the US. There must be at least 100 churches scattered all over Vercelli. But they're all empty. Nobody visits them. Must have been other times where people were more religious. This is kind of like a Chinese place, like a multi-store or whatever. You can get a lot of stuff there for cheap. But you get what you pay for. I'm actually walking towards the shopping area where they have multiple stores. They have sporting goods stores, a couple of supermarkets. They have a store for the house that is called Happy Casa, I believe it is, or Happy House. And I love it. You can find everything from pepper grinder all the way up to toys, some clothes, not too many, that's not their forte. A lot of stuff for the kitchen, and it's cheap, relatively cheap, good quality goods for cheap. I love the quality of everything here. I guess the Italian consumer is very demanding. and has high standards of quality. So you can't get away with selling cheap stuff here. Nobody will buy it. I'm dying to go to bigger cities. I'm very close to Torino, about an hour away in train, and also Milan. I believe Milan is the second biggest city in Italy. It's like an hour away from me, but I haven't had the chance to go visit. I will. One of these Sundays, I'll head out there and do a walking tour. So yeah. Oh, this is kind of like a disco. Operates at night. Disco restaurant. I haven't visited. It's not my interest. Kind of burned that stage in my life. I'm more into restaurants, maybe parks, museums, any type of activity that doesn't entail spending a lot of money. I have yet to find a movie theater. Maybe they have them, the biggest cities, but I don't think there's one here. One thing I don't like about these smaller towns is that everything closes early. At about 7 o'clock p.m., everything shuts down. You won't find too many people out. So that's kind of like a bummer. Even supermarkets close down at around 7 p.m. I believe that 1700 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to learn the military time. Or 1800 hours, I'm not sure. But I like it here. I've been here for over 3 months. I'm getting situated, adjusted. It is a culture shock. The language for me, it's slowly acquiring it just as a need basis. But it's definitely important. If you're planning to move to Italy, take a course. I mean, you can get by with English and Spanish, but for work purposes, it's definitely a plus if you speak the language. I enrolled in a course supposed to start now in February. I understand about maybe 60-70%. I'm struggling producing it. So I've been lucky, some places where you go shop and you have to interact. Some people speak English, but it's not common. It's not widely spread. So definitely learn the language. Public transportation, it's very efficient. Getting around in buses locally, I still have yet to learn the routes. Pretty sure there's a route that comes this way, but it's a learning process for me. Trains, on the other hand, Train Italia, it's very, very efficient. I use this app. It's called Trenit. You type down the city you want to go, you want to depart from, and go to, and it gives you all the different schedule, the departure times, upcoming departure times. And if you want to know how to get back, you just switch it here and it will give you the routes back. Search. Once you identify the train you want to take, you can purchase your ticket in the Trenitalia app. You search, put in the information, departure time, and all that, and then it will give you the options. You can also purchase the ticket with a credit card. I use it a lot. It's easier for me than going to the booth and getting in. Sometimes there's a line. They also have like a machine that you can use. Put in the money and it'll give you the tickets. Once you get your biglietto, there's a machine that you can check in. You have to put the ticket so it can mark the time and the location where you departed from. If you do it through the app, once you have your electronic ticket and you're at the train station, you're supposed to check in. It gives you an option to check in. It's mandatory. They remind you on the train all the time. And you don't want to be caught without a ticket in the train. Nobody checks it, there's kind of like a trust system in place, but they will come up to you, the train operator, randomly and ask you for your ticket. If you don't have it, you'll be in trouble. You can get arrested, from what they tell me. So buy your ticket. You can get it. You can get around everywhere, all over Europe by train. It's very, very efficient and cheap too, relatively cheap. Just for you to have an idea, a ticket from Vercelli to Milan, it's about 10 euros, I believe, more or less, 10 euros, 9 euros, depending if you take the fast train or the Regionale, which makes more stops. But that's up to you. If time is not an issue, then go for the Regionale. Save some money. And yeah, that's what I've got so far. It's been a learning experience for me. All right, so that's gonna be all for now. If you have any questions or would like to know anything about the culture, how everything works, write it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer.